Hello, Southern Nevada. It's Chuck Ann Baker, another edition of the Veterans Reporter News. Now, I want to point out to you that on September 17th, it's Constitution Day. Over at CNN at the Cheyenne campus, 3200 East Cheyenne, they're going to have a special deal on September 14th, on the Saturday before Constitution Day, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. They're going to have all kinds of speakers and things going on talking about the Constitution. Now, in addition to that, I want to tell you that Charles Kessler of the Cambridge Review of Books, back in 2010, he gave a speech on behalf of Hillsdale College, and he talked about the upcoming 2010 elections at that time, and he talked about President Obama, and he talked about the Constitution, and he talked about a lot of things in the government that have a lot of bearing even today. It was an amazing thing how he predicted what was going to happen in 2013. So we're going to bring you a few minutes of that speech in conjunction with Constitution Day. Why don't we roll that right now?
My task today is to say something about the Constitution and the 2010 elections. And let me start by remarking upon the amazing developments in our politics since the 2008 election. In just over a year and a half, American government has moved rapidly and decisively to the left. With the passage of Obamacare, the financial regulation bill, the bailouts, the stimulus bill, and of course the incredible accumulation of debt, American government is big and getting bigger, and in the next few years, in the next 10 years, will achieve a size, a scope, a cost, and an intrusiveness never before seen in American history, never before imagined, I would say, in American history. So our government apparatus has moved and is moving decisively left. But at the same time, American politics has shifted to the right, dramatically to the right. The Tea Party was born. A new spirit, I would say, of resistance has filled the conservative movement. We're probably on the verge of a triumph of a large proportion, if not historic proportions, in the election of 2010 for the conservative cause. And we have Barack Obama to thank for this. But these two antithetical movements, one sharply to the left, one sharply to the right, can't go on forever. Something has to give. Something may have to snap. Either the government is going to have its way, or the people is going to have its way. Either government must bend its knee to the people, it seems to me, or the people must bend their knee to the government. That's why the 2010 election is deeply important. For the first time in 30 years, the question of the constitutionality of the modern state is being thrust back into the center of American politics. The last time it commanded such attention was in 1980, when Ronald Reagan ran against a federal establishment that he said showed signs of having grown beyond the consent of the governed and of having replaced self-government with government by a small elite of so-called experts wielding great power in a distant capital. The question Reagan raised was whether the Constitution was still the supreme law of the land, or was being gradually, silently displaced by a new form of government operating behind the facade of the old Constitution. This new government, Reagan argued, was increasingly un-Republican, decreeing new rights to its favored client groups, exercising new powers to secure these rights, and effectively running or assembling a new constitution behind the forms of the old, to which the old Constitution, that is the genuine one, had to play second fiddle. Its supporters called this new, flexible, freewheeling arrangement of powers the living Constitution, a term from Woodrow Wilson, who had excogitated the theory in the first place. The living Constitution implied, none too subtly, that the old Constitution was dead, or at least would soon expire without life support from the new. The living Constitution proclaimed its allegiance not to the old-fashioned rights given to individuals by God and nature, but to a new kind of rights given to, not to individuals, but to groups or classes of individuals by government. These government-granted rights we now call entitlements, and they have really become the centerpiece of modern American politics.
Princess Diana, she inspired women and men all over the world. She supported many charities. One of them urged nations to stop the making of landmines. They are weapons of war, but each year landmines maim and kill hundreds of innocent men, women, and children. Chuck N. Baker once met Diana. He is a Purple Heart Vietnam veteran, and he co-wrote a book about the princess. In it, he urges the world to stop making landmines. You can help by sending for this book. Flowers for Princess Diana. Here's how to order.
Flowers for Diana, made sparkles in her eyes. I know she's watching somewhere from that palace in the sky. Flowers for Diana.
Chuck N. Baker back with the Veterans Reporter News. Well, the police in southern Nevada have been in the news lately, a lot more than you might think. The sheriff, Metro Sheriff Gillespie, he gave notice that he's not going to run for re-election. He's been in office a couple of terms. He said he wants to go on and do some other things. At the same time, a few weeks ago, some members of the Police Review Board, they turned in their resignation. They said they didn't agree with the fact that some of their decisions had been overruled by the police. Well, with all that in mind, we have a video that was produced a couple years back by the National Association of Veteran Police Officers. And it kind of shows you some of the things that police have to go through to train to become a police officer. And in conjunction with that, they ran a little bit about how to become an FBI agent as well. So we thought it was very timely, and let's roll that for you right now.
When I was growing up, to me, police officers were somewhat unapproachable. I mean, they were always the good guy. They were always right. They were big guys. I was little, and of course, policemen always seemed tall, strong, big, knew everything, and of course, the way I was brought up, it was to respect the law and police officers and so on and so forth, so I always knew I could always go to them for help. Some of the misconceptions I had were along the lines of always thinking that the police officer was somebody above everybody else. I don't know where he came from or who he was, but he wasn't like my mom or dad. He wasn't like the neighbor down the street. He came from someplace else. And never assimilated him with a family or kids or anything else. I always pictured him as a cop 24 hours a day. What surprised me about the academy was how real they tried to make it. I mean, they went to a lot of work and extent to make this seem as real as possible. They put a lot of work into that to try and prepare you for the street.
Move, faithful! Move, man! Move, man!
There's a lot of book work. There's a lot of book work. There's, you have to learn how to read the laws and understand them thoroughly, how to write your reports. So the average citizen can understand them, the lawyer can understand them, and the judge can understand them. We had PT in the morning, every day, physical training every day.
Come on, buddy, we gotta get to the other side.
See how he leans his shoulders back? When you win it, you pull it to your chest and lean back. Lean back hard, all the way past it. You're over halfway there, all the way past that cone.
We had defensive tactics, meaning using only your bare hands to defend yourself.
Back! Back! Back!
I saw a lot of people have trouble with taking persons into custody who didn't want to be taken into custody.
Sir, you're under arrest.
What's the problem, officer?
You're under arrest, sir.
What's the problem?
You're under arrest.
Wait a minute, what's the problem? What's the problem, officer? Officer, what's the problem?
Yeah, but I'm sorry.
I can't! I can't!
It's gonna be better.
Officer, I didn't do nothing, officer!
Come on, man, resist him, resist him!
Got a car.
Resist him!
Got a car.
I didn't do nothing!
Get a clamp!
Get a car. Get a car.
Emma! Ah! Ow! Ow!
Get under it!
The scope of the training is, every day is getting larger and larger, so it can not only take criminals into custody, but also help the citizens, which is a primary job.
Hi, and welcome to Name Your Adventure. I'm here in beautiful Quantico, Virginia, where each year people like them are chosen to train at the Special Academy to become agents for one of the toughest law enforcement organizations in the country, the FBI. Today, our adventurer sees and does it all.
We're gonna make your dreams come true. Oh yeah. Whatever you want, we'll do for you. Yeah, yeah. Come on, y'all. Make your adventure. Make your adventure, yeah. Make your adventure, yeah.
Hey, Janet, welcome to the FBI Academy. You ready to get going?
Are you kidding me? I can't wait to do
Let's
this.
do this then. Okay, this is the place. Hey, there's Walt Stowe, Assistant Section Chief of FBI Training. The man knows his stuff. Mr. Stowe, how you doing?
Hi, Mario. How you doing?
Great, thanks. This is Janet.
Hi, Janet. Nice to meet you. This morning, we're going to find out a little bit about what it takes to become an FBI agent.
Great.
I've got your security badges and your uniforms, so let's get going.
All right, let's do it.
You know, you guys are getting in here a lot more easily than the rest of our trainees. Out of about 10,000 applicants, we only hire 300 to 600 people per year. Anybody is eligible to be hired, subject to rigorous academic and professional qualifications.
Is it a tough program once you're in?
It's a very tough program, Mario, but the good news is the program is designed for you to succeed rather than fail. There are three basic components: academics, physical training, and agent survival. Janet, what got you interested in the FBI?
I'm involved with the Explorers program at my local sheriff's department, and I'm really interested in learning about federal law enforcement, and I'd like to become an FBI agent someday.
That's great. Let me tell you a little bit about us. We have jurisdiction over more than 260 different violations of the federal criminal law throughout the United States and its territories. We also have a foreign counterintelligence responsibility to protect the nation's secrets.
What kind of investigations do you handle?
White-collar crime, organized crime, drug trafficking, violent crimes, those types of things. Here we are at your dorm rooms. Why don't you guys go ahead and get changed? We'll get going.
All right.
Okay.
Well, you guys are fast. That'll come in handy as trainees. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, Brent. 2. How you doing? This is Special Agent Brent Mosier. He's going to be your primary physical training instructor, and today he's going to start you out with some basic suspect apprehension techniques. Good luck.
Follow me. There's two types of subjects. Compliant, those that do what you tell them to, and non-compliant, those that won't.
You never know when one won't turn into another, right?
Exactly.
All right.
Let's say that you're the subject.
Okay. Me?
FBI, put your hands up. All the way up. All right, drop to your knees. Put your hands down on the mat in front of you. Now back away from your hands till you're on your belly. Extend your arms out to your sides. Palms up. Okay, now I move in and start the cuffing. Want to give it a try?
Yeah.
Okay, Aria, you be a subject again.
What? Me again?
Freeze, FBI! Get on your stomach. That was fun.
Yeah, a blast. Can I get up now?
Yeah.
Thank you. Gee, I bet it's not as easy as it looks, huh?
That's That's why physical fitness is so important. Special agent trainees go through an entire battery of physical fitness tests. You guys want to try those too?
Sure.
Yeah.
But can you take these off first?
You're gonna have to be tougher than that to be in the FBI.
Come on, Mario. Only 19 laps to go.
19?
Hey, you guys have done a great job so far, but here's where all the training pays off. Hogan's Alley.
Alley? It's a town.
It's built to look like one, and it was actually designed after our architect took a tour of some of your Hollywood studio sets.
You guys mentioned Todd McCall with the FBI.
Here, they'll come face to face with crime scenes, they'll gather evidence and question witnesses and apprehend dangerous criminals. We've got a bank, a hotel, a post office, you name it, it's here at Hogan's Alley.
How important are guns to FBI agents?
They're very important. And even though an agent infrequently uses his gun, he has to be responsible for it 24 hours a day. During training, agents spend weeks learning how to avoid misidentifying targets and how to handle their weapons properly. No matter whose hand the gun is in, they're dangerous weapons and should be treated that way. We'll be using these plastic guns for your safety. Have either of you fired a real gun?
Yeah, I fired a gun at the police firing range.
Well, that's the right way to do it. But unfortunately, many people are killed with guns every year, even though they're accidents.
Plastic's fine.
According to my schedule, it looks like about time for a bank robbery. Come on, guys, let's go. Okay, guys, don't go rushing in. Before you start in, take a look around to make sure there are no suspects inside. Let's go.
It looks clear.
Okay, since you guys are the first ones on the scene, you have to hurry up and interview the witnesses and find out what happened.
So what did the suspect look like?
He was pretty tall, over 6 feet.
He wore a jacket and jeans.
He had short brown hair.
Okay, now you say you saw the vehicle they drove off in. What did it look like?
Well, it was the Grand Prix, Burgundy.
Good job on the interviews, agents. Now we've got to radio the information back to headquarters.
There was one man. He left in a 1983 Grand Prix Burgundy.
Station Delaconcha, we have a positive ID on that vehicle at the Hogan Hotel. Proceed with caution.
Let's go.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, this part of the training takes weeks to learn, so I'm only going to show you one method of room entry. As you come up the stairs and move down the hall, be as quiet as possible so as not to tip off the suspect. Mario, you go in first, and Janet, you cover him. If you see the suspect, get him down as quickly as you can and watch for any weapons.
Freeze, FBI! Get your hands up! Get down on your knees! Face the other way! All right, put your hands behind your back.
Okay, guys, that was pretty good. Pretty good. Exercise is over. You can let him go now.
Wait a second. How do we know if this guy really is innocent?
Well, if he's not innocent, you got to take him home with you.
And I ate a lot of food. Oh, okay. You're innocent.
I remember my first day was probably the nervous day of my worst day of my life. I don't want to say worst day, but you talk about being nervous. I knew then that in the academy, you tend to be in a controlled atmosphere. You make decisions. If they're the wrong ones, you can go back and make the right ones again, and it'll be all better. Okay, nobody's going to seriously hurt you. You might think they are, but they're not going to. You can always call timeout or do things over again in the academy. Out on the street, decisions you make are real, and they definitely have an effect on other persons and yourself. So the first day tended to be a little bit more.
Back off now! Get off him! Get off him now!
First day for me was I tended to watch a lot and I listened, and which is my FTOs, my field training officers, just said step in when you feel comfortable with it, And so the first few days, I did a lot of watching and listening to see how they handled the people and situations. They have several good TV shows that are out. The ones that on the street, like Cops and Top Cops and American Detective, things that try and show the true aspect of police work. You know, it's not always get the bad guy.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John don't come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do, what you gonna do when they come for you? Nobody now give you no break, police now give you no break, not the old soldier man now give you no break, not even your eye now give you no break. Hey, hey, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Cops is filmed on location with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Hello, I'm John Langley.
And I'm Malcolm Barber. We're the executive producers of Cops.
As you may know, Cops is about real-life police officers, men and women who are engaged in a profession that can be both dangerous and rewarding. If you want to lead this kind of career, and believe us, it can be an exciting one, then you should consider preparing for a job with one of today's law enforcement agencies. You may never get rich, but you can make a difference.
Is your house upside down? Is your house underwater? If you live in Las Vegas, you know exactly what I mean. Hi, I'm Tim Kelly with the Kelly Realty Group at RE/MAX, your local short sale expert. Since 2008, I have had the privilege of working with veterans just like you, helping them get out from under their negative equity. According to a recent LEAD Institute report through UNLV, 54% of homes in Clark County are still upside down, meaning their house is worth less than what they owe the bank. Don't worry, I can help. A brand new program has been introduced to Clark County that will allow you to do a short sale and you don't have to move. That's right, do the short sale and stay in your house. However, there are some restrictions and you do have to qualify. Sounds too good to be true, but it is not. So if you or anyone you know is considering a short sale, call me immediately. My website and my phone number are the same, 241-8611, 241-8611.com. And as always, my services are 100% free to veterans, and I even make house calls.
Welcome to Boulder Palms Apartments. Hi, I'm Kathy.
And I'm Bill.
Is the high cost of your rent getting you down? What if one check could do it all? Now it can at Boulder Palms Senior Apartments. And a $99 move-in for veterans. The amenities you deserve at the price you can afford.
Qualified veterans 55 and up, call today to see our great one-bedroom apartments. Remember, all utilities are included. Call Boulder Palms Senior Apartments. Need a place?
Check our space.
Need a place?
Check our space.
Hi, I'm John Fenich. I'm the commander of VFW Post 10,047. We're the largest post in the state of Nevada, and I'm here to tell you what we do, and I'm going to show you what we do inside, but let me tell you a little bit about ourselves. We have a great post home here. We do Sunday breakfasts from 9 in the morning till noon, and then every Friday we have our own family dinners, and we start them at 5 p.m. and we go until 7 p.m. And then after 7 p.m., we bring in our own Brian and Robin with our famous karaoke show. And it's just a family-oriented, warm post where we all come together. Would you like to join me in that?
Hi, I'm Cheryl, one of the bartenders here at Post 10,047.
We have a full bar with widescreen TVs for all your sporting events and a great canteen for breakfast and dinner. Please come and join us.
Chuck Ann Baker, that's our show for today. We really appreciate the fact that you watch. We're on every Friday morning in Las Vegas, and we're on at other times in other places. So thanks again, and we'll see you next week. Hey everybody, when you're listening to the radio, make sure you're listening to the Veterans Reporter radio show every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. on KLAV. That's 1230 on the AM dial. It's the Veterans Reporter radio show with me, Chuck Ann Baker.